Hey, hey. All right, guys, this is part 3. I promise we will wrap it up in this third part. Um, but we ended with 2 cards of change in part 2. Now, if you didn't see part 1 or part 2, there is a free link in the description box. You'll definitely want to go back and watch those or you won't know where we are. But this sudden, like, overwhelming desire, and with all this long, long hair, it shows us that there has been a great passage of time. And he's pulling back his hair to say, this is where my heart has been all this time. Like the fight that he had where he pushed her out of his life, like that was the day that like his life went into that stasis or put on pause. And it's like all of a sudden, this awareness, she is going to end up with somebody else. This is the tower moment. This is the big collapse. This is the moment where he can feel his high priestess, his queen, is not going to be in his life, not even going to be able to stay in his fantasies anymore. I think as long as she might have been waiting still for him, that might have allowed her energy to continue to be in his life, in his, mind. But now she is peeling her energy away and she is picturing being with somebody else, knowing she's going to be moving on. That's what my impression is, but I want to kind of confirm that because to me, there is something very important happening with her that he is reacting to right now. And that's what's bringing about that tower. Let me get a message on behalf of her. Ace of Wands, she is ready to have new love. She is ready for a lover. This is a very phallic symbol. This again feels very much like a Valentine's Day. She is going to end up in someone else's arms. She believes it. She wants that now. She wants to not be 10 of Wands. She has laid down the memory of them, the memory of what wasn't, the memory of being pushed away from them, the stress surrounding it, the heartbreak surrounding it. She finally is okay. Wow, we have the guides and we have the Queen of Cups, and we have seen her as the Queen of Cups. It's funny because I'm wearing my Aphrodite ring today, just, obviously in honor of or Venus, but in honor of the upcoming, I almost said 4th of July, Valentine's Day. We'll be changing backdrops tonight as well to prepare for, celebrating Valentine's Day. But this energy of her being like Venus, goddess of love, and her guides saying, it's time you take that sweet, sweet love you got and you refill your cup and you offer that to somebody else now. She is listening to her guides. Guides, why are you telling her to walk away from him? Walk away from the memory of him and don't look back and don't be sad about this. Just let it go. Page of Wands. Look, if he wants to hang out in the basement, he can do that, but he's never really going to become the magician that he needs to become if she holds space waiting for him. And I think that she gave unconditional love. I think she definitely proved that. She is the Queen of Cups, absolutely. But now she's done being the Queen of Cups. She's done giving that kind of love, and this is all through. She's done. She's wrapping this up. I know this isn't the magician card, but he came out as a magician twice. And that is, on this Page of Wands, we have somebody who's, being a magician. So I'm going to say that she got a direct message from her guides that said, let him go towards somebody new. He needs to figure out how he's going to create his world, what he's going to do in his world. You holding space for him as a high priestess, feeling connected to him, is not actually allowing him to step into his own like real power. He needs to, it's almost like she has been creating a space where he could comfortably sit in nostalgia all this time and imagine she was still always his without ever making any of the changes. Let me just ask, feminine, he pushed you away is what we saw him acknowledging in part 1. Yeah, but she always had this hope. She always loved him so much. She always had this hope that somehow, and here again with the family tree, she always had this hope that maybe he would grow beyond that behavior. She didn't even take it like, oh my God, he broke my heart. She was just always like, I hope that someday he heals enough to stop pushing away something that he wanted, that stop pushing away light. Oh no, she did have a broken heart, but I also think she decided she would heal her own heart because she actually believed the way he broke her heart was because he himself had wounds. So she might have held even his heart and said like, I'm always sending you light. I'm always hoping that you heal. But it's not time for her to keep using her, we'll say, light and her, maybe I should call it her light magic on him. It's time for him to take the driver's seat. I almost wonder if this is not a magical, mystical story where if love were a quantifiable energy, like you know how let's use our phones as an example, because we all know what it's like when our phone starts to die and our screen isn't lit up very much, and it's like, oh, I'm down to 2%. I'm gonna say that's a great easy concept because we all are familiar with it, and certain features don't work as well, and we can't use our phone because it's on its last leg of battery life, right? But then when we plug it in, we recharge it. I'm going to say that this relationship, when she met him, I said it's like his life was on pause during this time that he hasn't been around her. He said that there was no way he could possibly join her. I'm going to say he was like a cell phone that was on like 2% battery. And I'm going to say when all this time, even the time that he pushed her away, she has still been basically that charger cord plugged in, sending him energy, sending him. Oh my God, my ear is doing the weirdest thing right now. It's like, oh, I'm like popping and cracking and making all kinds of sounds. Okay, left ear, what do you got to say? You clearly want to send in a message. Hang on. Four of Wands. She kept sending him energy or visions of, no, we could be together. You and I would be great together. We could have it all. We could have this balanced life. Don't you see, you're the person that I pick because I see you as my partner. I see you as my balanced person. You don't see it that way, but I see you as that. And I think she continued to send him that vision. I see you and me as equals. I see you as, somebody that matches me. Even if you don't see yourself that way, I see you that way. And I think she kept sending those images to him. Sorry, my baby. She was the phone charger. Well, she's gone to the point where she charged him enough. And we could say at, emotional cost to herself, but she has always sent that thought process to him all this time. She's been feeding that flow of electrical energy to him that has actually been charging his battery. And the universe says, that's enough. Stop charging his battery now. You move on. Move on and go find somebody else to love. Don't feel bad. You charged him up. You gave him a ton. And now you need something from somebody. And if at this point in time, you walking away, you removing that wonderful battery charger that you've been giving him all this time, if he still doesn't have the impetus to say, oh my God, what am I doing? I need to come toward the person that I don't want to have slip away, even though I already pushed her away. If he doesn't do it now, it's because the exchange of you giving him support all this time, that was a beautiful thing that you did. But maybe that's as far as it goes in this lifetime. Maybe you'll see him in the next lifetime, or he certainly has all the power to make a change now because you gave him your energy. Sorry, my voice is funny today. Page of Pentacles. This is his journey now without her, is to figure out what he's going to do. The pages are the first little steps forward, but she can't be there for that. She gave him amazing energy, and now she's supposed to move on and let him figure out there's no doubt that he loves her. There's no doubt that she loved him. So if he still doesn't want to, or feels like, no, I'm not going to make a change, that is going to be on him. She has most definitely, everything that needed to be conveyed has been conveyed. There is literally nothing else for her to wait around or give or do any more of. She gets to move forward now. And at this point, if he were going to have anything to do with her, it will have to be him that pursues her, is what it says. And the universe is just telling her point blank, you're done now. You get to walk away now. Whatever happens next, the ball is in his court. Let me just ask anything else, universe, for her at this moment. What is the advice, the encouragement? Magician, King of Wands. The universe says to her, and keep in mind, he has been the magician from card 1. That was our first card in our first video when we began this storyline. And then he's come out as a magician yet again. But this was our first card back in part 1. He's also come out as a King of Wands a multitude of times. He knows who he wants, right? So even though when I say universe, what is the message for her? The universe says, darling, go get yourself an amazing magician, King of Wands. You don't need to think about him anymore. Think instead about the loving, amazing partnership that you have always wanted to have, but don't put his face on it anymore. You've always wanted somebody who simply wants to build and to choose something light and bright and choose to like open their heart to you. Envision that for yourself, but don't plaster his face on it. Now, ironically, this is who he's becoming. So she may not know that. By the way, as I said that was 11:11 on the clock. But as that came out, she perhaps doesn't have that on her mind. She doesn't know. Oh, we have 3 of Wands upright. It says, just keep looking to your future. Start picturing a great love story for yourself, feminine. Start just picturing that you are on a journey, that he's not the one on your mind. You're journeying forward and you're going to have that in your life. But don't say that it has to be his face, because we don't know who he's actually going to be. Like, he would have to take actual steps, actual action. And right now, this is where she stops sending energy and thoughts and emotion to him, and she just looks toward her own future and toward what she wants. That's her only task right now. Ironically, we have seen behind the scenes that his energy has been that again and again and again. The magician, the King of Wands, the magician, the King of Wands, also the King of Pentacles. Let me go ahead and change decks here, and let's go back to him for just a moment and say, as we left things at the end of part 2, we had those 2 5s, right? Where it's like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I'm taking this movie off of pause. I'm aware that she is the person I've been longing for. She is the home I have longed for. We saw him also in part 2 saying, I'd like to slip away. And I was like, I don't get what the slipping away thing is. And, not telling what the family or the group that you're around that you're going to go toward her. I don't know. We have a Page of Pentacles sideways. He still doesn't really know. He's still in like fantasy land of what he might do. Even these lights around him are kind of similar to that first magician card that we had at the beginning, where he's saying, I'm petrified to think of her being in somebody else's arms, especially on Valentine's Day. That can't happen. Okay, we have Judgment upright. So he is working out in his mind the reality of where he's at. He could never see himself making change before. He's starting to envision an outcome, not necessarily the steps in between yet, but he's envisioning the outcome. I want to reconcile with her. I need her in my life. How am I going to have that? I can picture being with her, Ace of Wands. I can picture me being the person that, offers her my heart. Okay, but we still don't see action. All of this is still playing out in the mind. Page of Wands. Okay, he's starting to, and we already had these 2 cards, Page of Wands here, Page of Pentacles here. We duplicated those cards. We have so much duplication in this story, it's not even funny. Everything the universe said to her is, you let him sort it out. You move on and don't think about him anymore. You lean into the future that you want to have. Let him figure out what he's going to do. Well, we have him doing exactly the things that, the universe basically predicted. Like, he'll probably go into Page of Wands. He'll probably go into, Page of Pentacles. But now he has to start working on the actual plan. His thoughts have to grow. His intention has to grow. His determination has to grow. He has to want to change the outcome of his life, and he has to be the one to take the steps. And because of the way she loved him, even at a distance for so long, he's just now at that point where he's energized enough, clear visioned enough, and actually maybe is starting to feel like, why have I thought that I was too broken to ever have a love story? Why did I tell myself all that? We have a King of Cups upright. We see him revving up. We see his energy. He's able to envision himself now. And he's getting excited about this. He's, instead of just saying, oh my God, she's going to end up with somebody else, and I don't want that to happen, he's starting to say, no, it's me she has to end up with. She has to. Yes, I pushed her away. I didn't want her to get to know things about me, but honestly, what the hell have I been doing, right? What on earth have I been doing? Why did I do all this? I don't even know if it makes sense to him anymore, but that's not what's important. He's finally seeing an outcome for his life. He's seeing the life that he'd like to have, and instead of seeing nothing but obstacles to it, he's seeing a vision of the life he wants. Okay. I don't know if somebody lives near the sea or near a lighthouse, or he wants to get married near a lighthouse, but we have 7 of Pentacles sideways. All of these thoughts are getting clearer. The outcome is clearer. 9 of Cups is upright. He knows she is somebody who will be okay without him. And he also knows she is somebody who really, truly loved him. She is that mermaid. She is that 1 in a billion. Knight of Pentacles, he's still over here making plans. So his heart is getting excited. His thoughts are turning to, I can do this. Now he's starting to make like real intentional plans, looking at a map, figuring out how to get to her. So he must be at a distance from her. There's that Queen of Cups. Destination Queen of Cups, I'm headed to her. That's all there is to it. I'm headed to her. Something about, he sees her by the sea. God, he sees her as his empress. You notice how his thoughts are clearing as his energy level is increasing. And the more he thinks about her, the more it's like, no, this is going to be possible. I can't let this go. I have to get to her, but I don't just want to get to her and chit chat with her. I want long term. So that's what it's going to be. It has to be. 6 of Swords. He is finally mentally departing from the problems of the past, the things that held him in stasis for all these years. It's almost like it kind of melted away, which is crazy because this has been a net he's been captured in for such a long time. 8 of Wands, Queen of Swords. There's something here about the heartbeat drum that says he is finally able to clearly see the direction his life is going, and it is directly to her. I know this sounds like almost sudden, but he's already like gone over the rainbow. He's done with those, whatever it was that he said, my life can never change. You don't understand. That part doesn't compute anymore. What matters now, the thing that's most real, the thing that he's headed for is her. And that's it. Is destination, like companionship, love story, romance, the person he's always wanted. It's so clear now. This is not even, he's not going to be vacationing in her life briefly. He's left behind in his own mind. He has left behind all the reasons why he couldn't be with her. Final card just on, leaving behind the past. We end with the Death card. How timely is this also? Because we're moving into the year of the Fire Horse on February the 17th. There is something that he has finally cleared that black cloud that was around him. Whatever the inherited family curse was, whatever it was, he is free of it. It stops now. The black cloud is off his shoulders, and he is finally able to just be happy. Like that's what this whole story has been about. He fought happiness all this time, and finally he's not. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Holy smokes, that was an epic one. Bye, guys.